Hello, fellow watchers and enjoyers. It is I, Piggy. Hello. Don't know what to say. Joined by Ash.
Hello.
We are here to bring you our first ever classic podcast in video form. You know, you get to see our lovely faces while we go. While we do this about Dan. You know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, when Piggy waffles on a bit, I could just sit here, just. Yep. Yeah. I really agree. We need to spend 20 minutes talking about nonce or something. I don't know. It's like I said, the bingo card. If we haven't at least gotten a strong bingo card so far, it's definitely getting there because we do have some of our lovely little tendencies. Yeah, it's episode 7 as well. I suppose, obviously, last week's podcast was delayed as there was some kerfuffle, and I then ended up leaving my job. So, last week wasn't necessarily feeling like doing it. There was a lot of diplomacy. There was a lot of, saying the right thing, saying the wrong thing. It was a big back and forth. But, we're back. We're back.
Yeah, it was just we couldn't find the time to do it because it was either we'd record videos, either do the modern podcast, and then we're like, what do we? And then Strictly, and we're like, yeah, we can't
There was
fit
a lot
classic
going
in
on.
here.
There was so much
Yeah,
going on last week.
it's just when you have to find the time, you have to find the time.
Exactly.
But yeah, we're back, baby. Hopefully.
Clean
Until
shaven
Ash.
as well from me. Look at me go. Got a funeral tomorrow. Fucking hell. Here
Well,
we
by the
go.
time this is this podcast coming out tonight?
Yes.
Oh yeah. You have a funeral tomorrow. Until this comes out next Tuesday, and we're like,
Fucking hell,
yeah,
that was miserable. That was, edit A or B.
But yeah, you all, I don't know if we really talk about how we are on this podcast, do we?
No, not really. I mean, we have enough videos. We have the normal podcast to essentially go, how's it all going? But, we did the bit of an update as to why the podcast wasn't there. The podcast should be back to normal, should be back on its Tuesday slot. Before we were one ahead, but now we don't really need to plan that much ahead now. We should be having it safe and secure in your fucking inbox on Tuesday.
Yeah. So yeah, well, I guess without further ado, there was probably a cool intro to start everything off. So likewise, what is the classic podcast? We already went through it. We go through the year 1985, and then when we're finished in 1985, we might go into 86. We might go into 96. Just depends what we're feeling, really.
If people have a specific love for, go through 2007. Yeah, fuck it, go on, let's do it.
The classic podcast is anywhere from 1985 to 2022, because if just a side note, like, because we can't really do 2022 on the modern podcast because that'd be like 2 modern podcasts. But
yes,
it could technically be retro.
We could do 2021 still. It's just anything that's not currently coming out, anything that's all cleared up. The idea was to start this from the start and go from there, but it does take a good while to get through a year of EastEnders, especially when it does become 4 a week. So suddenly, wow, that's what 52 episodes for a year of a fucking classic podcast. It's just, it has to happen. It has to happen. We would like to do some videos where we kind of leap around and cover some topics that you wouldn't necessarily get the time to do on covering the podcast. But, let's say when Den leaves the show, we'd love to, in 89, we'd love to go through all the way to 2003 and, go through Den's, return. Because, it's a pretty big, important character. You get to see all the development, all the build, and then you get to see the fucking finger in the mouth, and you get to see how it's all going on. It's just we're flexible like this. It's not like we have sponsors for this. It's not regimented in the contract. 4 episodes a week. Must start 1985. If anything takes our fancy, we'll happily go for it. Oh, and he's having a sip as well. All right, bloody hell. I thought I'd stalled enough. Added another obstacle to it. But before I'm gonna fucking drink my drink, I'm gonna do a fucking like star jump just before, just to fuck with you.
So yeah, we're going through 1985. We're currently in May, and if you want to know where we pinpoint of May where we are, we're on the 16th of May, and we're going to be finishing on the 28th of May. So literally next week will be in June. So we're literally halfway through the year, which is mental.
We're nearly at one of the most tragic bits of the first year of EastEnders.
What
I'm
happened?
not going to spoil it, but we're very close. I was watching these episodes and I'm like, nah, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Another Julius theme's coming. No.
So yeah, the three main storylines are and who's Annie? Angie and then try again. There's a car crash. But when I say there's a car crash, it's literally like two nannies fighting over bread.
Bit of a scraping, you know.
Yeah,
a bit of a
you know.
Shoo.
Sharon tried to win over Kelvin, and also Michelle tried to win over Kelvin. You know, these two women really want Kelvin for some reason.
Nah, they just want the ego boost. I'm sure Shell wants him, but Shell just kind of wants an excuse to not be at home. So, and Sharon's just a little fucking bitch who just wants what she can have.
Well, yeah, which one do you want to start with? I'll let you choose.
Let's start with the crash, and then we'll ease into the Sharon and Shell and Kelvin love triangle, and then we'll go into good old Den and Angie trying to make a good go of things.
Right, so the car crash, what happens? Well, we see what are Saeed and Neymar's like last names?
Jeffrey, I would assume.
We see the Jeffrey. Oh, that sounds very weird. We see the Jeffreys with Debbie and Andy, and basically they're having a lovely.
I was gonna be like Angie. No, Andy. Sorry, I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, Andy. They're having dinner. Obviously Debbie, I believe she goes to make the curry, and then she's like, "Oh, Tony, can you?" Fucking, I hear you're a chef.
Well, she doesn't even do that. She talks about how, you know, like, well, I want to do something nice. I want to help them feel at home. And, like, also, Saeed and Neymar are just going through, like, man, imagine if they made us, like, a fucking leg of lamb, you know, like a nice, juicy Yorkshire pudding. And then bloody Debbie, the busybody's like, oh, we need to make them feel at home. Let's make them a curry. And then Tony's, like, sizing something up, some work to be done. And then suddenly now they're making a curry, and she like a naive anime protagonist. She just slips and falls into the curry. That is an anime girl's boobs. Just like, oh, there's a curry. I made it. Yeah, it was all me. I made this curry. It was all good old me. Oh, where'd you learn to make curry like this? Well, I'm just so bloody good.
Okay, yeah, like. It is, you can tell it's the 80s because they're like, oh yeah, they love a curry. They would fucking love a curry. They would die for a curry. And like, I'm not saying that I would just make them a British meal, but I would make them a British meal. Not to say like, no, know where you live now, pal, but you know, you want to make them food.
If it was like Pete Beale or someone there, he would genuinely be like, well, I don't know, like, honestly, I've never really been around that much racism, luckily, despite being from a fairly like dodgy back end like county rather. But it is always wild to see the people who are very indignant that because you live in England that you have to speak English no matter where you go. Like one of my mates who I really didn't agree with this at the time. I was giving him shit, but he's like, I assume like an Eastern European like kind of mum and daughter went by and they were speaking whatever language they spoke, and then he genuinely like perked up and went, "We speak English here," and I'm just looking at him like, "Come on, homie, who the fuck do you think you are?" And he's like, "Yeah, they could be talking about me," and I'm like, What's interesting about you, you little shite bag? Fucking grow up.
It's kind of that weird debate over here in Ireland because obviously people know that our original language is not English. People who know that our original language is not English, it's Irish. So it's funny when people go, yeah, but you know all these foreigners that come over here, they're not speaking our language, and I'm like, so Irish, and they go, no, English, and I'm like, yeah, but that's not your language. That you were forced to learn English by the British because the British still want you to learn Irish, and then like, bloody foreigners, and you're like, mate, don't come to me and go, they should be speaking our language when you don't even speak your language. Like, it's fucking stupid.
It's like at least with the Welshies, at least they usually learn a bit of Welsh so they can be all wanky about it. And I can say that as I was born in Wales, you gobshites. Look at me. It's my token Welsh citizenship card right here.
At least the Irish is a very hard language to understand because there's like for some reason some guy must have been fucking stoned making that language because there's 100 different meanings for words in Irish, and I'm just sat there like, love to learn Irish, glad I got exempt because fuck me is it hard. Like, all I can say in Irish is poke my horn, which means kiss my hole. Like, that's all I can say. And you can say it too. Say it at the funeral tomorrow. Go, hello guys, poke my horn. What's that mean, Ash? Oh, it means I love you in Irish.
Shalom. I just stop making shit up. Appropriating all the cultures.
Fucking walking in like that. Holla, holla! Well, yeah, basically back to Debbie and Andy. Yeah, Debbie makes a curry. And then we have a lovely sit down with Saeed and Neymar. I believe Saeed is the woman, isn't she?
No,
Neymar's the woman.
Neymar's the woman.
Yeah. Keep confusing the two. Basically, Neymar talks down with Debbie. They have a lovely after 8 as well. Might be, after 7s because, legal issues and shit. And I don't know how things worked in the 80s. And basically, yeah, Debbie's like, so you gotta stand up for yourself, Neymar. You gotta, be a woman.
Yes.
Be a woman. Show your true feelings. And then we... in the background, so in the kitchen, Andy's like washing the dishes with Saeed, and Saeed's like, who is the man and woman in this relationship? Who does everything? Who is the real man? Who's the real woman? And Andy's like, there's no man, woman in this relationship. It's just two blokes, well, the boy and the girl, having fun. We're just seeing where the road goes. Yeah. And then, like, in the other room, it's just Neymar and Debbie, like, yeah, stand up for yourself, Neymar, stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
It's really funny because it's like, I assume in the 80s, Debbie is this, like, modern woman, She has a job, she's a banker, it's a very male-dominated industry. She clearly had to work very hard to get there. Still is. And then you have, like the roles reversed because Andy's a nurse, and he doesn't really, nurses aren't... I mean, nurses even now still get a lot of shit if you're a man and you're a nurse. Not really sure why. Like, you're just helping out the exact fucking same if you're a man or a woman. Or in between. You fucking wankers. But, you get in this and, Andy and Saeed are just like, oh, so, yeah, like you said, like, who wears the pants? And then Andy jokingly goes, Debbie probably, like, and then in comparison you have like the arranged marriage of Saeed and Neymar where Saeed's like, I don't want to, I don't know, he just doesn't want to let her do any shit because he's useless. And by her not being allowed to do more shit means that he can somewhat claim superiority because he just is allowed to do more. And then you have Neymar who wants to do more. Neymar is a modern woman. She wants to learn to drive. She wants to fucking wear some skirts or whatever. Not these long ass like saris or whatever. Like, she wants to do all this shit by herself. And it's just like Andy and Saeed are just like, you should just have some independence. And then Debbie's like, you should learn to drive now, right now, immediately. And then they all kind of peer pressure Saeed into agreeing. Yeah, it's great fun. Although, I suppose sorry, carry on. I'll get into my
before, just sorry to cut you off, but an example would be on the watching Walford channel. It's like, yeah, Ash, come on, we'll watch Christmas 2018. It'll be good. Come on. Piggy, it's September. Come on, it'll be good. Come on. And then it's like, fucking hell, fuck's sake, bloody hell, I'll watch it. Like, that's literally the modern example for anyone. Well, yeah, what were you gonna say?
It's very funny the way they kind of ended up peer pressuring Saeed into doing it. Like, I don't know, it's a really weird dynamic because they pressure Saeed into agreeing to do it because she still has to ask Saeed to do this, and like it's really weird because obviously Debbie and Andy, they don't feel like they really fit in the square because they're a bit more like posh. They're a bit like they are the token middle class family. Like Pete and Kathy are kind of middle class. Somehow he only sells fucking fruit and veg, which is absolutely ridiculous to me. But they're this like middle class. They don't really fit amongst the poor people on the square. So they're trying to make a difference and trying to like insert themselves into all the dynamics where it just doesn't really fucking work. And we'll see it more later on as it's not mentioned in the story, but Kelvin and Michelle are we are talking about that one. But like Annie's just trying to get some sleep and he just starts fucking screaming at the kids. And then starts screaming at their parents and it's just they really don't fit into the square. How do you like Debbie and Andy? Do you like them much, or?
See, it's that kind of thing. Again, I guess an example would be like, it's like when a Tory goes, yeah, I'm like the class people. I go to Tesco.
Pub.
I have a pint with the lads. Like it is that kind of thing because
it's that like sheep. It's like the wolf in a sheep in a wolf's clothing. I don't know, whatever term it is. They they stand out too much, so they have to try fit in other ways.
It basically be us. Like if we ever showed up like a video con or something, like they're all in their nice, lovely clothes, and then I show up in a stripy rainbow shirt, and Ash shows up dressed as a fucking dressed like he's going to Strictly. Like, and we don't fit in.
Yeah.
But like it is, I like the characters because it does show what things were like in the 80s. Because we can't really ask our parents what was it like in the 80s. It's more than likely either your parents were grown up or they were just children.
I mean, my parents were like, I guess my mum grew up in the 80s, but
my mum hadn't even been born yet.
In like the fucking like late 60s, so. It's kind of a bit of dissonance there. But yeah, carry on. Sorry.
It is that kind of thing where if you don't fit in, you're not going to fit in. Because like I'd assume that upper class people or middle class, I guess the middle class, would not fit in with the lower class because one of them will at least think that they're above them because, well, they don't go well. I say it like they don't go shopping, but they do go shopping. But you know what I mean? They're like middle class, or they don't shop at your local shop.
Yeah, some of you are like picking out a fucking gravy boat, and the others are picking out the fucking bread that they've got to eat for the rest of the week. Like there are levels, right? I don't know why I keep doing fucking jazz hands, but like it's just kind of how it's happened. Yeah, I don't know. Debbie's a massive bellend though. I do not like Debbie whatsoever. But then she's a character who I'm just not really gonna like because she is that like she's worked very hard to have her position, but she still gets her nose in other people's business and then gets upset when you're like, Debbie, why don't you just fuck off? And then she's like, I was just trying to help you. And then that's where the like superiority kind of comes out because she's like, I spent my time, which is more important than yours, to help you out. And it's just like, so stop using people as a fucking like politicking tool, please. Andy's nice enough when he's not yelling at kids. I like Andy, but fucking hell.
I like Andy, but I also like like you say, you yell at kids. It's understandable why, because he's working a night shift. Like
he's working a night shift, and they are on a moped. Fucking.
What do you think about this, you wanker?
He just gets on it, starts doing the fucking crazy frog. Neat. Didn't exist then.
Why didn't he get a little Honda 50? You know, start wrapping it, and then they just nifty. Did it even exist in '85?
He just brings out his little bicycle and just goes, "I'll race you." So, all right, he's fucking starts pedaling like there's no tomorrow. like Kelvin is like vroom, vroom, and then you go to Andy, who's like ding 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 ding. On a little like fucking, it's not even a cool bike. It's like a little daughter's bike. Yeah.
Yeah. They like
bing, bing.
What the fuck? What the fucking do they call?
The
tassels.
The tassels on there. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a lovely pink bike, like, and he's like hunched over and he can barely cycle on it.
He starts doing the noises himself.
Yeah. Andy, you don't have to impress us, and then it just goes rum.
I've worked 3 night shifts today. Just crying.
But yeah, like, it's understandable why he's mad at the kids, because like he is working a night shift. But again, you shouldn't take your anger out on them. I understand it would be annoying.
Also, maybe don't go straight after the parents afterwards as well. You know.
Like, Andy, I understand where you're coming from, buddy, but still.
He's definitely the cooler one, but he does just go on a bit much.
Like,
I've heard how loud his TV is.
Yeah, exactly.
Mate, Lou Beale's playing Countdown in the next room. 100, yeah. It's fucking 8. She ran out of paper, so she's been drawing it on her back. That's why she's got shingles.
We'll obviously probably mention that before we go on to another topic. Or we'll mention that after this topic, I guess. But yeah, basically, the car crash happens because Saeed and Aymar are driving. Saeed is, he's driving around the square, and he's like, "Oh, you get in here." And they basically swap seats, and then Neymar is like, "Oh,
I'm good at this, me.
How do I do this?" And then it's like, "Use the steering wheel. Use the steering wheel."
A steering wheel, woman, you fucking idiot. It's like, I'm holding it, Jeffrey. Saeed. Just call him Jeffrey when she's angry.
Yeah, I love that. Why didn't they make that a thing in EastEnders? Like, he does something stupid, and he's like, Jeffrey, now, know your fucking place. Like he's a dog.
So yeah, they are just driving around, but a bit of a fucking issue happens as the post boy is trying to get Rolly to come across the road. But this is just as they're turning the fucking corner. So Rolly runs across the road, and then fucking Saeed pulls a Linda and just goes, whee! It's like, stop fucking pulling the wheel. Just go forward. Rolly's fine. Stop pulling the wheel, please.
Ooh.
You're caught, like, if there was a cliff, you'd be off it.
Could you imagine that's where they got the inspiration for fucking Danny Dyer's death on EastEnders? Oh yeah, remember Saeed and Neymar doing this. You're going to do this off a cliff.
Just fucking... Sorry, I just unearthed some lovely Christmas 2022 hated memories there. Stop grabbing the fucking wheel. Let them drive. If they fucking drive into the dog, it's their fault. But now Saeed's fucking straight into Ali's cab. And it's not like Ali has much money anyways. He spunks it all up against fucking horses. Having a bet. Like, why? Just stop grabbing the wheels. Just let it happen. Slam on the brakes or something. Don't go, whee! It's not a clown car. Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, Saeed and Neymar crash into what's his name again? Ali?
Ali's car.
Ali's car, and he is very pissed. Obviously he and what's his wife's called? Sue. Sue find out that it was Neymar who did it, and Ali's. I wish Ali did what he said to Sue. Do you remember that time where he locked everyone out, and then he just turns to Sue and goes, "You are a stupid, stupid woman." You know that. I wish he just meant this. I just wish he turned to Neymar. I mean, you are a bloody stupid woman.
Bloody English woman. He does love that. And yeah, and so essentially Sue and Ali, they decide, fuck it. Alright, so Saeed's come to me and has worked out a payment plan of 400 quid. And Neymar's also come to us with a plan of 400 quid. So we can't buy a new car for 400. But how about 800? And that's like, oh, are they gonna do it? Are they gonna pull the fucking rug? I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't know. I've never seen this, Jeff.
I personally wouldn't fucking scam the people who own the local corner shop. Good job getting your fucking buns now, big man.
Oh, you can get your fruit and veg off Pete Beale. It'll be fine.
Yeah, where's his buns?
Ian's cooking it.
His buns are fucking in bed with his little tootsies hanging out, giggling.
Is he gonna do like the Ben fucking where he's awkwardly hugging Kathy? Or not the Ben, the J.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, basically, there's not much else to say about this. They crashed the car. It's not even a car crash.
Yeah,
they
say the car crash, but they just scraped the car.
Like, I'm not going to say it'd be easier to hit Rolly, but it would be easier just to hit Rolly. Because, although it would be hard because you'd have Den, who'd be like, you fucking woman, you.
I mean, who's more likely to have insurance? Den on their dog or Ali? Yeah, Den. True.
Because Den is, he's not middle class, but he is certainly.
He's a bit more affluent, right? He's been there. He's worked hard. He owns a fucking pub. But yeah, exactly. It's funny that we call it a car crash because the only car crash about it was fucking Saeed grabbing the fucking wheel and going wee. It's like, wow, just please. The only crash I'm having is my emotions now that I'm fucking having memories of that fucking Christmas 2022. Like,
I still think that is one of our. Sorry to. I know we're going on about Christmas 2022. That is still one of my favorite videos because I'm just sat there, and then like when the episode's over, Ash like I fucking hate this episode. Fuck it. And he is literally like he's in Parliament. Like he is going on a rant for about 20 minutes. And I'm like, I expect this out of me, but not Ash. But yeah,
I'm usually a very positive when it comes to soaps. I love soaps. They're some of my favorite. They're probably my favorite like choice of media. Like it's what I'll pick up to do above everything else. But like, fuck me, does EastEnders 2022 Christmas episode absolutely blow? Like, you didn't have to grab the wheel. Just let her drive. She's not just gonna go wee. Like if not, he's just gonna fucking stop at the end of the road and go. Well, I guess we're at the end of the road now.
Oh no! Like she stopped right, but in the classic soap way, Danny's driving right behind her and just boom, bumps right into the car and fucking knocks them off the cliff.
That's like the fucking Dodgems. But yeah, that video's not coming out till Christmas, so yeah, good luck. That's about 3 months in the can. Good luck.
So yeah, that's our car crash. Just want to quickly, just like say with a car, I want to quickly swerve when I drive and go to Lou Beale for a minute because Lou Beale, oh Jesus, I've never heard a woman scream in my life like that, but you know when she screams, it's serious.
Yeah, Lou Beale barely even likes to talk about people who she fucking doesn't like. Like she doesn't give them a second thought. But Lou Beale's screaming. I love Lou Beale. This hurts me. Nah, Lou, stop screaming. It's all right. I will protect you. Like, absolute, like, visceral, like, guttural scream. And I'm like, please stop. Please. I'm getting anxious now, Lou. You all right?
Like, it is, like, again, I love this. She has a rash on her back, I believe.
She has shingles.
What is shingles? Can you explain?
Imagine chicken pox, but it's a lot more. It'll fuck you up pretty bad. It has like you get a bunch of rashes and like it's a very itchy, very blistery type like disease or virus.
Oh,
I don't know. It's like chicken pox, but adults get it and it's just really fucking.
Can you still get it, or is there a cure for it?
No, you can still get it, but it's just one of those things.
Because obviously we can't really dive into this topic because that opens a can of worms that neither of us want on a classic podcast.
Yeah, it's just some pretty fierce rashes, really. It's a thing that like you can't really. Well, there are some vaccines for mumps and measles, but that's not exactly the same thing, I'm pretty sure. So it's just a bit of a you get it or you don't. I think if you there is a shingles vaccine.
Oh, the more you know.
But I've known people who have had it anyway, so who the fuck knows? I'm not well versed in shingles, I'll be honest. Sorry, I didn't do my prep work this week. I was slacking.
It doesn't really matter. Like, I just wanted to quickly bring it up.
Have you ever had chicken pox?
I might have. I don't think I have, but I might have. Like, I can't really remember. If I did, I was very young.
I feel like you'd remember, unless you were like 2 and you're like, well,
I was probably like 2.
I had chicken pox once. It went around like a mad bastard. And safe from cowpox though. That's not happening. I don't know, one of those. Also a vaccine for cowpox.
What is cowpox?
It's just a similar thing. It's a similar, like, it attacks the body, you go out in rashes and blisters, and it's all, it's Right, it's one of the, like, longest running, like, diseases that was vaccinated for a long time, but obviously with a lot of people moving towards not really enjoying vaccines, it actually started to come back, which... Let's not do that.
No, I'm very honest to talk about vaccines, but again, it's just the fact I don't know if our channel can survive the people who don't believe in vaccines. Like, because
they can fuck off anyways. Don't want them. Actually, I don't mind. I'm not even super that. I'm not even.
Like, all I'm gonna say on this is vaccines are good, and if you choose not to get them, no problem, but do not come near me because I prefer people who are vaccinated than not vaccinated. They don't give you autism. They don't fucking make you look gay or lesbian.
Autism.
Yeah, you. No,
I'm all vaccinated. Boosters and everything.
Ash, you're not supposed to tell them that.
It's all a conspiracy, guys.
Next week we come on the podcast. We're like, so is the moon landing real?
I'm just be me. I'm gonna suddenly have a new hat and it's based out of tinfoil. It's not like a scalp bun, but like fucking boat hat. Just I'm protecting myself from the 5G masts.
Can I just? I know this is an 80s podcast. Can I just say that was a brilliant fucking theory. 5G is the reason why we had coronavirus. Like some mad bastards in China. Fucking like what will we do, Dave? Like that is so fucking.
Like, at this point, I don't think anybody really cares about the vaccine anymore. If it's one thing you continue to go on about beyond, like, it's not important anymore. Like, come on, grow up. There's more issues to get upset about right now. It's not Twitter. We're not unreasonable. We're not just going to go, if you don't like the vaccine, then we can't be friends. Because it's like, oh, come on. Like, be reasonable about this. It would be like, I support Trump. And it's like, Well, you have funny banter though, so you don't. I guess, like with people, you don't have to agree on everything. You fucking do. Like you can have your differences. A piggy collects figures. I collect fucking memories of fucking soap. Oh, that fucking Hollyoaks 2012's been added. Hollyoaks 2013's on fucking Channel 4. Oh, here we go, boys. Another year in the can. Like, it's just how it works. You don't have to be the exact same as your mates. You can have your own opinions. You can have your own fucking... Exactly, there we are.
Unless we're with one of our friends where I'm like, I like Monty Brown. No, he's fucking shit. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I just get my opinion. And then Ash is like, I love Mason Ryan. Oh, Ash, you silly guy. And I'm like, Jesus, why does he get away with it?
Kissing babies, you know.
Guys, I like Alex Riley too. No, you don't. Never was good. Should have been shit canned at the start. Shout out to that friend.
That was a derail. What we talked about? Yeah. The shingles.
The shingles. So Lou Beale got the shingles. Basically, this kind of what we were talking about is kind of true because from a time where, like, medicine she doesn't really believe in because, again, she grew up in the 30s and the 40s where, I'm not saying like things weren't there, they were there, but it's not as advanced as it is in 2023. Like, so, like, there are people who are wary of it because medicine is still kind of new. It's been around for decades, but it hasn't really been advanced much until like the 50s. After the nuclear bomb was invented by Oppenheimer.
To be fair,
like,
she has
around
good
then,
reason
that's when people
she has a good reason to be wary of the medicine, is because she ends up taking some pills that just absolutely fuck her up to no end. Like, she ends up having these horrific nightmares because she's just had been having too many pills. And I jokingly said that Dr. Leg's fucking pocketed those, like, just took down the symptoms, like, double vision, sleeping. Fucking hell, let's have some of these. Fucking, yeah.
Dr. Leg goes home and is like, here we go, lads. he fucking starts.
He puts the tunes on. Fucking party pills away. Fucking do pinging off the room.
He starts doing the fucking juke. Could you imagine? He starts listening to Flock of Seagulls, like standing in the hallway, and he just sees someone standing in the hallway.
Yeah. I don't even remember that. I love the song. I ran so far away. I couldn't get away. Yeah, it's great stuff.
You walk into the house.
In his pants, doing the risky business, the fucking swinging everything around.
That is something we should have seen on EastEnders, but sadly never did.
Goes full risky business. Just fucking waltzing around the house. Fun movie, like. Great fun. Yeah.
But yeah, we see Lou Beagle is kind of, she's very wary, which is understandable. Again, we kind of know more about medicines and vaccines now. Well, depending on who you get your information from.
It's funny you say that, Piggy. No.
It's funny you say that, but I don't think you should get the vaccine.
Ethel had the best medicine of all. A fucking big old jug of brandy.
Yeah.
Which Arthur stole. Wanker.
I love that when, like, I don't think we ever had it because we were born in, like, 2000s. But, like, I love hearing stories from my dad and stuff. But, like, when I was a kid and I had a toothache, you know what my mother gave me? Well, brandy.
Yeah, we know a bit more now than to realise maybe it's like a lot of the really, like, fatty, sugary foods kind of just have slowly been fucking neutered over time. Because we had that big, like, fucking thing from Jamie Oliver to just be like, oh, you're eating fucking gross, fatty shit. And all the poor kids are like, fucking, it's all we can afford, Jamie. It's all we can fucking afford. Like, healthy food's expensive. I want some turkey Twizzlers, you fucking shite bag. Give me them. And now food's not as tasty as it used to be. Like, did you ever go to those school discos and they're selling like fucking massive boxes full of sweets? It's like, oh yeah, you can have like a fucking massive load of this for like 20p, and you're absolutely like pinging off the walls. You know, flame shirt on, hair spiked up, fucking. Oh mate, who do you have a crush on? Oh mate, I don't have a crush on anyone. Go on, tell me. It's this one. Guys, no. Sorry, just got some memories of the school discos. Those bottles those tiny bottles of fizzy drink though are fucking wild.
Oh yeah, you know the little shot ones. They're about that high, that high. Yeah,
those
I remember
tiny
them.
Bottles.
Used to get some for like 50 cents over here, and then since the recession and everything, it's been like £1.50.
And then Jamie Oliver got in the way. Fucker. Blame Jamie Oliver for food standards.
Since the recession and everything, like you get a little bottle of this for like €1.50, and I'm like, what's the point of paying €1.50 when I can get a big bottle, not a big bottle, but a normal sized bottle of Coke for €2?
Yeah.
Like, what will I choose for the child? But yeah, fuck you, Jamie Oliver. We don't like you. Also, I hate
food.
Also, I hate the pandemic for one reason and one reason only. When I went back to school, because obviously Ash finished school by the time the pandemic hit, but I hadn't, so I had to go back during the pandemic. So I had to turn the cafeteria into a classroom. I had to put a wall between the cafeteria, so they couldn't cook food there. So I couldn't get the sausage rolls or the pizza slices.
Those pizza slices that they do serve at schools are banging though, fair play.
Yeah, it was like barbecue sauce on a little roll kind of thing with cheese and stuff, and then they got rid of it because of the pandemic. Fuck you, pandemic. You can keep me inside, but you can't take my school food away from me.
Hitting Piggy in the heart when it comes to the food. Don't take away my fucking food.
I love how people are like, but COVID took away families. Yeah, man. But they took away my food.
Yeah, my fucking pizza slice never been the same.
And then that chef, I don't know what they were. Basically became a substitute teacher. So it all worked out in the end. Yeah. So like when she come into the classroom, it's like, so guys, what do you want to do when you grow up? When you leave school, you know, because you're in 5th year now, you're gonna leave school shortly, you know. You might have kids. And I'm like, oh, all right.
I want to be a podcaster. Why are you even here? Get out.
But yeah, Lou Beale basically doesn't want to take me. Fucking hell, this has been some podcast. Lou Beale doesn't want to take medicine, and which is understandable, to be fair. Again, if I was 60-something years old or in my 70s, and like someone is going, here, your granddad, take these pills, I'd be like, fuck off, what's in these pills? What's in these pills?
Fuck it. Wait.
Give me the full bottle.
That's taking it like a fucking E. He's like, eyes are like wide, just like, oh, granddad, what are you taking?
Ecstasy. But yeah, like Lou Beale basically doesn't want her medicine, which is understandable. Brandy solves everything though, so yeah, that's mainly it for Lou Beale. I just want to bring that up because it's bad. Whatever it's called, the shingles.
I want to bring up it's bad. Cheers, politician. I make my stance. The shingles is bad. Yeah.
It's like an American politician where they're like, right, how can I get the Americans on my side? 9/11 was bad. Yeah.
Mexicans.
Irish. Yeah. We're all Irish. English. Boo.
Yes, but yeah, this bit was mostly just to show how frail Lou Beale is, you know? Like, she is an older lady, you know? She's lived a hell of a fucking life. You know, she's worried that her family's going to fall apart if she's not there to hold it all together. Fucking Arthur's still not got a new job yet, despite the fact that he's been saying, "Oh, I'll do a new job. At least if you're not fucking working, at least contribute to the fucking household. Make sure all this shit's fixed, you know? Like, do some hard work." Pauline's worried about how they're going to cope when the baby comes, because now they've got to juggle a baby, a sick fucking mum, and, you know, just all these other responsibilities. And Michelle's just angry because, you know, she's being expected to do more when fucking Arthur just sits there and just does nothing. It's a good thing that Arthur became a bench, because he was very happy at sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah, exactly. He was.
He's method acting that role. Some say he's still on the payroll. I think he's dead. I think
in real life?
Yeah. I mean, both.
He wasn't... Arthur is a very interesting character, in my opinion. He's like, love him, but he is, like, useless.
Yeah, but it's like, it's not... I just think it's not really his fault, though. Like, Arthur, I assume the second he went out of school, he was out in the factories, you know? He was out in the factories, doing the same job every day, normal money, there. But now all the, like, Thatcher shut down all the fucking factories. You know, what the fuck do you do now? That's so many people's livelihoods gone. And it's not like he's been able to process this, because now he's trying to get through it, and all he's just being told is, get a fucking job, you lazy piece of shit. And, you know, it was a big plight of a lot of men in that time period, because ultimately, it was all they knew. They weren't fucking trained to be like a labourer. They were trained to do one thing in a fucking factory and make sure it gets done. So, like, you know, it's an interesting part of the character that a lot of these nuances that I don't really feel like we get so much now, because the show has to be much larger. It has to be so much bigger to accommodate all these, like, big, like, fantasy type characters who don't actually exist in real life. But, you know, there's just that bit of, like, life in them where you, like, get, like, you believe in them and you want them to be better. That's why there's such the charm of the, like, classic EastEnders, because it wants to make you believe that this is almost a timepiece. Like, this is what was happening in the 80s. So, you know, like, you can like scrape around a bit and you'll find a bit of fucking nuance, just like, oh, actually, Arthur's actually a really tragic character when you think about it. You know? Oh, it's just a fun little thing. If you can get all wanky about it like I do.
Where the fuck's my headphone? But yeah, I feel like, yeah, I'd agree with what you're saying, because it would be very hard in the 80s, knowing that not your livelihood, but your job is literally being shut down by Thatcher because fuck you, I guess. We're the Tories. And then everyone just hated her. And still do. Glad she's dead. Ash, hey Ash, can I tell you something? Did you know Thatcher's dead?
Hey. Oh yeah.
Well, let's move on before we upset all the Thatcher stands, about 5 of them. Imagine standing a dead woman. Couldn't be me. Yes, so will we go to Sharon trying to win over Kelvin?
Yes, let's go ahead and do that.
Oh, God save Thatcher.
Sharon, Kelvin, and Michelle. Triangle. That says triangle. Triangular. I'm gonna turn my light on in a second. Keep fucking going.
So where do we start here? Well, we open up. Oh Jesus, we have light. I was making an open statement, and then I just basically spelled out for everyone that we had light. So yeah. We open up at the start of the week, where, you know, Michelle's talking to Kelvin, Sharon's talking to Kelvin. They're all huddling around Kelvin. Basically, Kelvin is like me when I see a hot cross bun, not a hot cross bun, like a cinnamon bun, like. And then there's another fat guy that really wants the cinnamon bun, so they're both eyeing up this cinnamon bun.
You like somebody drooling just. Come on,
Just like that.
The things I'd do to that. Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
That's fucking disgusting, mate.
oh shit.
Method acting, you are. I prefer. My style's a bit more abstract. I like to not fully commit. But yeah. See, Michelle and Kelvin are kind of like nearly together a little bit. They're planning little like dates to go out, and because Sharon's lost the war. All right, Sharon is fucking right. I fucking hate Sharon. I fucking hate 80s Sharon because she's such a spoiled little fucker. So it's like, oh, fancy new toy. Hello, Kelvin. I hear Shell likes you. Well, I've got tits me. Sound. Nice one. Cheers.
You're 15.
She just gets involved in shit that she's not supposed to be involved in. It's not your fucking... Listen, right? Kelvin's not interested in you. Stop fucking forcing it. I just get so angry because she giggles and she flirts and she's like, it's fuck off. Fucking 80s Sharon.
Yeah, I agree with that. It seems like they weren't ironing out the kinks yet. They were trying.
No. She was like she is very selfish. She's very entitled. You know, she comes from money. She has lived a good life. The main drawbacks is her parents don't love each other very much. So you know, that's her biggest fucking issue.
Do you know when you said that like she won the war? I'm imagining Dirty Den in the fucking war. Like, I could not see him and all. Like,
I mean, the
fighting.
less said about Leslie Grantham territory service, the better, really.
Oh yeah, I forgot. No, I meant Dirty Den the character, not Leslie Grantham.
Yeah,
famously, the only famous thing Leslie Grantham did was sticking his finger in his mouth. Nothing else. He didn't kill a taxi driver.
Nothing bad happened.
Nothing bad ever happens to the Granthams. Granthams. Whatever the fuck. Coming to you shortly with a bullet between your eyes. But yeah, basically Sharon tries her best, but she doesn't. So we see Michelle, you know, looking after Lou. You know, she's trying to care for her nan.
So many responsibilities. All right, so Michelle's got 2 fucking jobs. She's looking after Lou. She has to pretty much share a fucking room with her, I think. And she's also having to juggle Arthur being a shithead, not doing anything. And is then now, with her free time, still needs to study for fucking school. And also wants to get with Kelvin. Like, give her a fucking break. Fuck Sharon. Dickhead. Hate her. Wanker.
But, yeah, like Michelle's trying her best. I don't think she shares a room with her nan. She might do, but I wouldn't sleep in that double bed. No offense to you, Lou.
Well, she's not sharing the bed, just the room.
Oh, right. Because I feel like she'd get into the bed with her.
She's not getting tucked in.
But would you sleep beside Luke Beale?
I wouldn't go near her. She's too precious. Like,
fair enough.
But I'd kneel at all occasions. What would you like, Lou? I want a tea. All right, Lou. It's mine. I don't want it. It's yours. You can have it if you want.
It's too hot.
It's too hot, huh? Is it? Just hold out the window. Is this cold enough, Lou? Oh, fucking hell. The cough was not intentional, but it helped. There we are. Lou Beale's too precious. Fantastic woman. Love her too much.
I'm starting to love Lou Beale, like, because she just reminded me of my nanny, an old battle axe who was raised in a different time period. Basically because I know this, because whenever I go to my nanny, so a man and a woman share a house, and I'm like, it must be a man and a man. No, only a man and a woman. And I'm like, all right. Used to fight my nanny on that, but didn't realise what would be the point. She's from a different time.
Yeah.
Just like when we're in our 80s and there's fucking robots having sex with women and men. Like, we're going to be like, no, a robot can't marry a man.
Mate,
Like,
the amount of... I was some people I watched who made a bet saying that there would be like a robot related like sex incident. And there has been. There's this wild story. I don't know why I'm bringing this up on the podcast, but it absolutely buckled me. There was this like robot that played chess. And you know, it was all like automatic and whatever. Apparently this fucking kid was playing chess. And this like AI genuinely like fucking just grabbed his fucking finger and broke it. Just fuck you. Ah! Like just the AI went rogue and just fucked this kid's day up. Like that's unreasonable. That is.
Like I understand people will say AI will kill us. Personally, I don't think it'll ever get that far.
Bring it on, boys. I'm here. I'm fully here, boys. Come on.
If someone made a robot for us to use, I want to go out gladly. Okay, I don't care if our voice.
Give all of the. All right, you watch the episodes. You tell me what happens, and I'll act like I watched them. Sound. Cheers.
But yeah, I wouldn't mind. Like, if our voices become AI, like Freddie Mercury's, then. Although the one thing I seen that was AI last night, and it was like at 3 a.m. in the morning, and I was like, why is this so sad to me? You know the song "You Are Not Alone" by Michael Jackson.
You are not
alone. Like,
I'm here with you. Hold you in my arms. I don't know the fucking words.
Yeah, that's the song.
I'm you.
That's the song.
I'm here with you. Yeah.
But I basically seen this. I can find it for you because I have it saved on my phone. Basically, someone did an AI cover where they got Freddie Mercury to sing it with Michael Jackson, and I'm like, why the fuck does this hit so hard? You have Mike going, "You are not alone," and then Freddie in the background playing the piano going, "You are not alone." I'm like, oh, the memories. One's a paedophile, one's bisexual. Why is this fucking with me?
Sorry. I probably wouldn't put them on the same caliber. Maybe go, one's an aunt, one was just openly into men and died of AIDS.
And women. Oh, but that made me so sad. Just hearing an AI fucking Freddie Mercury sing "You Are Not Alone," and I'm not lying because normally most AI covers are shit because they don't. They don't sing the song themselves.
God, give them a fucking break a second, Jesus. Yeah, most AI is fucking shit.
Like,
some of it's good.
No. What I'm saying is it is good, but you know, like when they're trying to do singers and and basically you have to sing like the singer, or else if you have Freddie Mercury singing like Michael Jackson, he's just gonna sound like an AI Freddie Mercury singing like Michael Jackson. This guy actually started singing like Freddie Mercury, I'd assume, to record the vocals. And it actually does sound like Freddie Mercury. It's not like you alone. Here with you. Like, it's not like fucking Elton John. It was actually decent.
And that's just Elton John singing normally.
I'm here with you. Oh fuck, it's fine. I'm here with you.
All right. Where are we at, anyways?
What the fuck happened here?
Sharon, Calvin, Michelle. Let's just run it back.
Oh yeah. Basically, Michelle shares a room. When I clean up this bit on my fucking laptop, and basically, so she tries to win over Calvin, and then Sharon's like, "Oh, Calvin, ooh, come here. I have mixtapes." I'm like, I've got the best of Michael Jackson and Freddie Mercury. Ooh. Trying to win him over.
Obviously, he's a big Prince fan, so he goes, hee hee. Oh yeah, token Michael Jackson joke there for you.
Was this before Michael Jackson turned white or after?
I don't know.
So I think in the 80s he was still black, I think.
I'm not having this conversation.
But yeah, anyways, enough about my
Oh,
um kind
these
of.
headphones are
Uh,
charging again.
oh.
Sorry, I don't know why I'm bringing this up on podcast. I have some wireless earphones got like an iPhone like 10 or something. The one that doesn't have a headphone jack. And I've had these headphones for like a couple months. And they're like, we've stopped charging at 80. And I'm like, what? There's 20% more. And now it's gone straight back to 100. Banging.
So yeah, of course in the 80s they had no idea what wireless headphones were. It wouldn't have been a thing. You show an 80s man wireless headphones, they look at you and go, "You're mental." They're just shower heads. But yeah, so yeah,
The robot ears.
basically like so again, yeah, Michelle tries to win over Kelvin with some tapes from Ian Beale's collection, of Kate Beale's collection, I should say.
Yeah, the old
Ian Beale brings over.
50s. The 50s, the 60s, bit of Elvis, bit of Beatles, bit of Stones.
Yesterday. Seems so far away. I forget the words, but I used to sing that in my music class. Because it's so easy of a song.
Singing days.
Yeah.
Classically trained singer, some would say.
No. Just start singing like that. But yeah, so yeah, they listen to music, they dance, and then obviously Arthur has to go, lads, can you just go over to Ian's house? Your granny, Lou's not well. And they do that. And also, sorry note to Ian, he gets sacked by
Angie.
Angie, yeah. Just because she kind of is brought up in this, so I might as well just loop it together. And basically this leads to Sharon going, "Oh, Kelvin, I'll go on the pill." And I'm like, "You are 15, Sharon. 15. And then she's like, the doctor, like, "Oh, doctor, I'm thinking of going on the pill." And Dr. Leg's like, "You're 15, love. Like,
You're 15, you need your parents' fucking permission. Fuck off."
You do realise whoever has sex with you is breaking the law. And then I just imagine a man in a, well, you already know. But yeah, so yeah, that's all that happens. And then Michelle runs off with Kelvin, I think.
Yeah, also, they go off to, like you said, this is where the Andy and the moped situation happens, where they're practicing this fucking moped that they borrowed from the dodgy mate Spotty. Great name, by the way. And yeah, they venture off for the night. And she doesn't get back till late. Because I remember when she gets back, and let's be honest, we can just already imagine it right now. Arthur gets a little bit angry. One of the most one of the dodgy aspects is when Arthur's like giving her like the third degree before she leaves, like, nothing against the blacks, and I'm like, Jesus, here we fucking go.
Yeah,
here we go.
Because Ash just want to get cancelled, and I'm like, I don't care. He says, "I've nothing wrong with the blacks, but you do know mixed relationships do not go down well." I'm like, so it reminds me of that Kurt Angle one where he's just sat there and he's like, "You know what? I'm not a fan of the black people. If I could go back in time and tap out anyone, I'd tap out Jesus Christ." It's my favourite promo he's done.
Absolutely wild shit.
It's just the way he says it. "I'm not a fan of the black people." It buckles me every time. But yeah, he's what you expect. Like, still,
there's a lot of just casual racism thrown around. It's how it is. It's how it was.
Like, they pretty much, everyone who was an immigrant at the time kind of knew that, like, you're either going to get bullied or you're just going to get casual racism. And it was either or. And then the 90s happened, and then we've gone back to it in the 2020s, where like British politicians will go, "Do you know what I hate?" And everyone's like, "What? Immigrants? Yeah, fucking hate them. Yeah, down with immigrants." And you're like, "Okay, lads, we're not in the 80s anymore. Fuck off." But yeah, that's enough of the 80s talk mixing with 2020s. So now it's time to go on to the final topic, which is of course Angie and Den try again.
Love the rhyming there. Very good. Yeah, so obviously last week Angie had a cheeky bunk up with big man Tone, big old Tony Carpenter. You know, had a good evening, wanted to just feel a bit of comfort. But the main issue with Angie is she just loves Den too much. I don't really know why. I don't know why she doesn't, why she loves Den so much. Because ultimately, he doesn't really give her much to work with. Because last week he was obviously like, or 2 weeks ago, he was obviously like, yeah, oh, you've had an affair? Well, people better not know about it. And it's like, whoa. So you don't actually care that I've slept with someone else? Nah, just, I've got a reputation, don't I? Like, I don't know why Den loves Angie so much. Not Den. I don't know why Angie loves Den so much. But, you know, they decide to start afresh. They decide they're going to stay in the same room. They have a bit of a kiss. And then they spend the night together. Or at least they try to, but it's very heavily implied that Den couldn't get his pee-pee up.
Yeah, hold on. I've got the perfect... hold on, just give me 1 second. This is the night, if I can find it. This is the night, obviously, that Den's penis made when he couldn't get her up. If I can find... hold on. Sorry, this being buckled here. My laptop's not putting me over. But here you go. This is what he heard.
Yeah, this isn't the first time Piggy's done this bit either. This was when Piggy was absolutely buckled by this earlier. Just like, soundboard! Fucking Den's penis.
I was nearly going to press... I was nearly going to press this one. Just his penis making that noise.
See the noise I make when I come? Sorry? Who? They did what? Just fucking... Oh, yeah, so it's seen that Den's, like, impotent. Well, it's a thing that was said in the Den and Angie's, like, kind of in the EastEnders, the inside story. Oh, fuck. I'll bring out the book. Hold on. Say some words whilst I bring out the book to prove that I do actually own this fucking massive bastard. Right. EastEnders, the inside story. I don't have any headphones on, so hold the fuck on. You know, a book where they detail all of the stories of the creation of EastEnders. You know, there's pictures from, like, the sets, and there's, like, little, like, fucking diagrams of how they plan for shit to look. Like, it's pretty interesting. I didn't read it myself, because I'm a little lazy bastard and I'm bad at reading. But yeah, essentially, in this book, they talk about how they conceive Den and Angie, who were obviously at the time known as Jack and Pearl. And, you know, it's essentially... I remember the specific timeline, but they've stopped having sex for, like, the last 15 years. You know? Like, and Den's been trying to, like, hang on to his masculinity ever since, you know? Like, they haven't had sex in years, and Den's, like, still like, yeah, but I'm a man. I'm a big man, me. And it's just kind of a funny...
I'm a big boy.
Like, it's just not another example of, like, it not fully working for Den, and Den... Well, then he starts to get a little bit sheepish. He's not as happy with this anymore. He's like... You know, Angie's like, come on, tell Jan. Tell Jan that it's over. And he's like, oh, well... But I've got to do it in person first. And then, like, she's like, oh, fucking Den, you need to fire Ian. And Den's like, I gotta go. So Angie has to do it again. It's always Angie making that extra effort, which kind of is... It shows how much Angie loves Den, but how little Den actually does love Angie. It's really quite sad. And honestly, there's no surprise that she becomes an alcoholic. She's trapped in a loveless marriage because Den doesn't want to get a divorce for some reason.
Yeah.
So they are trying again. And Angie has to. She goes out in a fucking bin bag or something. Like this massive puffy, like Mercedes McQueen-esque, like leather fucking like it's not even leather. It's like a very like synthetic, like PVC jacket. You know all those dresses that people wear, and it's way too fucking like tight as a motherfucker. Like you could see all 3 of my nipple hairs. Don't know why there's 3.
Okay, just get on to the book.
Sorry, I'm distracted by more important things, like my nipple hairs. Where the fuck was I going with this? She goes on. She goes in to see Tony Carpenter and says, "Look, I don't want your fucking affair. I used you because I felt lonely because Den wasn't here." And obviously Tony's a bit sad about it, and he's like, "Tell me what you really think, Angie. Tell me what you really fucking think." And she's looking all sheepish in a little bin bag and in a little weird little hat. And yeah, unfortunately that avenue is safely shut. And they're trying again, but no, then neither one's particularly fully invested in it. Angie wants to be, but I think deep down she knows that she'll never actually be what Den wants. And that's quite sad.
Yeah, why did you bring out the book?
It was just that extract of the saying, like, they've been together for a set amount of years and they just have stopped shagging the whole time.
Oh, I thought like you were gonna go into detail about why you couldn't get erect.
Well, I'll be honest, Piggy, they didn't actually cover that in the book.
They should have.
But essentially, it's just, they really just decided that it was a bit difficult to do. I don't really have anything else interesting, so let's just have a lovely little picture of Lou Beale. There we are, in the flesh. Actually looks very similar to how she comes across. I guess I can even slightly try piece together where the fuck this Den and Angie quote actually is. But it might take me a hot second, so stall for me, Piggy.
Do 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 do.
These are some spoilers. I'm spoiling it, Piggy. I'm spoiling it.
What year does that go up to, that book?
It covers some stuff from '97. So the best I'll give is a nice little trip down the canal of Den and Angie.
That does happen, doesn't it?
Yeah, it happened. There we are. Right, that's all I really have to say about this. Den and Angie try again. They both are saying, yeah, this is what we want to happen. So Sharon feels better about it. But ultimately, Den is still looking at Jan like, oh, I'm going to fucking go over there and absolutely slap your ass. And then Angie's like, Den, please, love me. It's pretty sad, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, not much else to say. Other than you've pretty much said what I was gonna say.
I've covered all of the bases.
Yeah, so I've nothing else to add. Just womp womp womp. Poor Dan. Let's move on to the awards.
All right. What's up first, big man?
Underrated.
Underrated. I think we decided on an underrated character this week, and it was just Kelvin. Kelvin was written quite interestingly, because most characters are brought in and they're just like, oh, what do you want to do? And they're like, I want to pick up women. But, Kelvin, he's a bit complex. He's got a bit of a weird, family life, Like, his mum and his dad are divorced and they're not really working together, so he's now being tossed in between the two families. Still living as a black man in London in the 80s, where casual racism is just expected, then now he wants to do well in his exams. He wants to go somewhere. He wants to do something big with his life. And yeah, it's just, and also still likes Michelle but doesn't like Sharon. So he's got the right choice in mind. Fuck Sharon, the little bitch. He's 15 years old at this time, but fuck her, loser, hate her. Stop taking things that aren't yours. Yours, Piggy, yours.
I'm going with Rolly, because he caused the car crash, and I think that's funny.
I too laugh at car crashes all the time.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going with Rolly. Not much to say, I believe the other word is who needs slapping down.
I believe so. We do downsize the awards for this section of the podcast. Who needs slapping down? Arthur, unfortunately. I love him, but he needs to fucking sort his shit out. Like, that wasn't your brandy.
Mine's a bit more erect, personally. I'm going for Dan's penis.
It did not go up.
It did not go up, and he's slapping down.
It's a very loveless marriage. I'm sure Angie's like, come on! Been waiting 13 years for this. Come on! Go!
Come on!
Activate penis! Go on, Denny! Just fucking... Just trying to cheer on.
Could you imagine? It's like a football match. It's like,
it's in the nets, going in the nets, in the nets, in the nets, in the nets. Oh, it's off to the side. Oh, he's on it again.
That was... Yeah, so I've gone for a dense penis. You've gone for Arthur. You know, but it's a very flaccid penis. So
indeed, there's not really much to write home about.
No,
doesn't keep you up at night. Just let you sit there lying awake. Imagine if he could have been pumping rather than fucking sat here holding hands and him crying. I feel like Den is a man who cries after sex.
Well, considering he's apparently a hard...
I'm coming. It's just like tears.
Like, I don't know about Leslie Grantham himself, but definitely Den feels like the man who cries after sex. Leslie definitely seems like the man who's like, who's the fucking man? Like... Leslie,
that post-nut clarity that turns into genuine upset and sadness.
Yeah, he's just then like he just has nothing. He takes out them recorders that they used to have with the disc, and then all you hear is "You are not alone. I am here with you."
He just stops. He sits back and just goes, "How did we get here? How did we get here?" And he just fucking sat there, someone just, bloody hell, that was great. How did we get here now? How do we get to this point? I don't know, Dad. I don't know how we got to this point. You really have to think about it.
I like to imagine later years with Dan, like
he's just killing all the mood.
Like, I like to imagine on later years Dan, so like in the 90s and 2000s, his go-to song was, like, when he, after sex, was just, I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never going to keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again.
He's fought his demons, not being able to get his penis up. He's fought them. He's winning now.
Watch he plays Fortunate Son. Like, he had this song.
It ain't me.
It ain't me.
He has a picture of himself all sad. It ain't me. Looking at it.
He has a photoshopped image of himself serving in the army with a gun, like, I am Dirty Dan, and I speak for the trees, but for some fucking reason they're speaking Vietnamese. Time to go out here.
Fuck, But yeah, That's it, I think, Piggy. I think that's us
Yeah,
all covered for the
do you want to
classic
do your
podcast.
thoughts?
Final thoughts. It was an alright week of EastEnders. It's definitely, you can tell that it was a lot more it was supposed to be a lot more grounded in like that family reality rather than now where it's all like, fucking hell, he's murdered 3 women. And it's like, well, hold on, sorry? Say that again. You sure? 3? And I do like it, but also means that some characters sometimes have to be some characters have to be the villains, you know? Arthur is technically a bit of a villain in this week's episodes because he's fucking yelling at everyone, he's being a prick. And, you know, you feel bad for everybody else because they're having to fucking try cope with a baby by themselves. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, there's something weird. There's a bit of dissonance between me being like, I really like classic EastEnders, but sitting down to watch it is always a ball ache for some reason. Like, I love it, I really do. But fucking hell. I'm lazy or something. Maybe if I just watched it slowly throughout the week, it'd be chilling, but because it's like 2 hours and I'm like, ah. What do you reckon? What are your thoughts on the week?
I loved this week. It was a good week of EastEnders. Finally glad it's in the can. Not much else to say. Lovely. Would recommend it to people. So I guess we do the outro.
Yeah.
I've been joined by Ash from Watching Walford.
Hello.
And I've been joined by Piggy from Watching Walford. Bonjour, senor. Follow us on Twitter.
Fucking hell. All
Follow
right.
us on Twitter.
I hear you.
Ooh, talk to me dirty.
God, this podcast has been absolutely wired.
Who's your daddy, Montreal?
Fuck's sake.
Follow us on Twitter/X, Instagram, and Twitch at Watching Walford. And make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube at Watching Walford. And just remember, if you can't get your penis up, just listen to Michael Jackson's You Are Not Alone. Because there's millions of you people out there who just can't get it up. And I just want to say, who is your daddy, YouTube? Who's your daddy?